Some PMI numbers out next week. We've got the John Lewis Christmas retail sales data, UK mortgage approvals data. Is it going to be more of the same? Strength?
I think the exception might be retailing, actually, where, you know, the anecdote from the retailers and some of the surveys in the run up to Christmas and the consumer confidence numbers are a little bit on the weak side, but part of that may just be coming off of a very strong Q3 from a retailing point of view, and of course the weather has screwed things up a bit as we headed into Christmas. So you may get more of a bounce in January on that one, but across the other sectors, services, construction, manufacturing in the UK, things look very rosy really at the moment.
All right, well, let's talk about construction as well and housing, which of course has been a big theme. The UK mortgage approvals data, what are your expectations?
Well, they may well get to around about the 70,000 mark, maybe a tad below in the latest release. You'll remember in time of the August inflation report, the Bank of England was saying they expected approvals to be around 70,000 by the end of the year. Well, they probably beat that by a couple of months, point of fact. So certainly the housing market has been a standout performer really last year and into this next one.
What camp are you in as regards London? Is it a bubble?
Well, I wouldn't call it a bubble. What I would say is that the housing market is very expensive, and perhaps as sterling appreciates and other bits of the globe strengthen economically, particularly in Europe, you may see a little bit less of the foreign inflows of cash into the London market. That may take some of the heat out of it, but I wouldn't be looking for any kind of correction next year.
And what's Carney's big plan going to be at the beginning of the year? Are we going to see any more, I mean, I hate to say it, backpedaling from Carney?
Well, I think what the bank has to do is give some serious thought to guidance beyond guidance, if you like. So even if we don't see a rate rise this year, which isn't our central case, you know, we really would expect to see one in 2015. Now, the bank has said relatively little about the rate tightening cycle after the first rise, and really it needs to build up a framework where it can inform the market on its thoughts about that, because otherwise the market will get ahead of itself, gilt yields will rise, that will hit the housing sector and some of the vulnerable borrowers out there, and the bank doesn't want any of that really. So it needs to sharpen its communication tools.